What does the numerology say about next year?
Next year is 2026, the year of the horse, and people who are born in horse years are going to dominate. Next year, I expect Myron Gaines to be one of the top guys next year.
Really?
100%.
What does that mean, top guys? Do you think he's going to be like, well, didn't Kamala Harris blame him for losing?
That's going to be a big help right there.
And it's the midterm, so I wonder, this is going to be interesting. They could be like playing off of what Kamala said, using him as a, oh, look what the right is. You know, but the reason why I don't think so is because he's black.
Well, I mean, listen, we live in a day and age where that goes both ways. Black people can actually say certain things that you can't. You say some things Myron says, you're probably going to get canceled. He won't because he has a shield. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. White people can say certain things. Black people can say certain things, and women can say anything they want with no accountability.
What are things that white people can say that black people can't say?
Daddy.
Oh,
That was dark.
Hey, Gary, you said it was the year of the horse next year?
Yes.
What are other years of the horse in the last 50 years?
2014, 2002, 1990. So, for instance, some of the things I expect more deflation to come next year. I expect Bitcoin to
deflation.
Deflation, correct. I expect deflation to come. I expect oil prices to fall, and I do expect Bitcoin and a lot of cryptocurrencies to crash.
Why is that?
Because OPEC was founded in the rat year. The enemy of the rat is the horse. Next year is the horse year, so I expect oil prices to fall. When it comes down to Bitcoin, this is the best example I can give. Bitcoin was founded January 3rd, 2009. That is a rat currency. The worst year for Bitcoin was 2014, where it fell around 92%. That was the year of the horse. The horse year comes once every 12 years. Next one's 2026. Bye-bye crypto.
When you say deflation, you're talking about deflation in the value of the dollar?
Deflation in everything except food prices.
Is it 2014?
Yes, 2014 was the year
When
of the
was
horse.
the last time there was deflation? Because deflation... Yeah, I mean, deflation can like lead to a deflationary spiral where nobody spends because the value of their dollar keeps going up.
Yeah, I understand what deflation is, and I'm telling people that I think the property markets are going to go down, the housing market's going to go down next year, and I do expect the big crash for the stock market to be 2027.
Okay, but that's not deflation, though.
Well, if people listen, you have AI out here who's taking everyone's jobs. These people have no more income in the streets. What do you think's going to happen? But there's no more money in the streets.
But the term deflation means the value of the dollar goes up. Right? Inflation means the value of the dollar goes down.
I expected the value of the dollar to go up, correct.
Really? Okay.
But why food? Why not food?
So hold on, this is interesting. Bitcoin had a 77% drop in 2022.
Go to 2000. I call it that one too, but go to 2014. Yep. That was the biggest percentage.
85%.
That was the biggest percentage, so I'm right.
Right, but it fell 85%, and then it climbed even higher, and then in 2022 it dropped 77%. Mm-hmm. So
I'm expecting not Bitcoin to go down to 40 to 50,000, 30, 20, even below. If you have your money in cryptocurrency, you're cooked next year.
Oh man,
what is
we'll do a side bet.
What is the basis
More
for
than happy,
numerology?
Numerology,
and that's what you're talking about here when you're connecting.
Yeah, well, numerology and Chinese astrology by far. When I talk about numerology and Chinese astrology, you have to understand the way I look at the world. I look at this as a virtual reality. I look at this as a simulation. And I look at numerology and astrology, the cheat codes. I actually look at numerology as God code. I believe that is the system that the Prime Creator gave us to be able to see somewhat into the future, to be able to make good decisions, know when bad years are coming, know when good years are coming, because the name of the game is really timing. Why did Napoleon become who he was? Because of timing. Why did Genghis Khan become who he was? Because there's plenty of smart people in the world. There's plenty of great leaders in the world. Why would those guys where they were? Because they did things at the right time. Andrew Tate became world famous in 2022. That's the year of the tiger. Andrew Tate's born in 1986. The year of the tiger. There you go. Mr. Beast.
What animal was 2019?
That was the year of the pig.
The pig.
The pig is the 12th sign. You're a tiger, third sign. 1 and 2 is 3. So natural friends. I'm not saying that's your best friend, but usually pigs do and tigers do well together.
So 2022 is supposed to be a big year?
I mean, look at Tom Cruise. He's born in 1962, Year of the Tiger. His hit movie Top Gun came 1986, the Year of the Tiger. And then it came all the way back again in 2022, another Tiger year. So Tom Cruise's, both his Top Gun movies came out in his own year.
I have
energy at work.
I don't mean to come off as facetious, but
Yes.
what makes you believe in numerology? You found some of these coincidences.
I mean,
or something that you
I always
hard
wanted to
data?
know why some people were good looking. I found out people born on the 5th, 14th, 23rd are the good looking ones, the models. I always wanted to know why
Wait,
some
so
people.
am I good looking?
I mean, I don't judge guys.
No. Based on when I was born, regardless, right? So
well, hold on. Maybe you should ask Milo, like, on Friday. I don't
want
do
him.
that
He's-
stuff. I don't judge guys. Okay.
Man,
No, but
I
you're
looked
saying
at-
you
I
know
looked
people
at
are handsome. The guys are handsome.
Let me
or
just
not,
say
whether or
this.
not
Let me
based
say this.
on-
I can prove some things, like, for instance, 28 is the number of wealth. Okay? So Elon Musk is born on the 28th. Bill Gates is born on the 28th. As a matter of fact, if you look up Carlos Salim, 5 of the richest
Why is-
25 guys,
Why is it why is 28th at number?
28 is the number of wealth.
Why-
I'm sure I
why?
could find a bunch of people who are.
Yeah, hold
born
on.
born
Why?
on the 28th.
Why?
Because that's the energy that represents wealth.
But why?
Because
Are you basically just looking at rich people and being like, they're born this date, therefore?
So, for instance, let's look at what the Chinese did. There's 8 and there's 28. Those are the 2 wealth numbers. The Chinese started Olympic Games on 8/8/2008 at exactly 8:08 p.m. They went from the 15th biggest economy in the world to the 2nd in a few years. So obviously you have people in positions of power who are using this stuff, and other people are reading the Bible and the Quran.
I think you're just
should
trying
I-
to get
should I go to a
coincidence
roulette
through
table?
numbers.
Just bet on
Do you
8
think?
and
Do you
28.
think they believe it's a coincidence?
No.
Okay, so
don't believe the Chinese
Okay, so the Chinese, President Xi, he's born in the year of the snake, 1953. He came to power in 2013, the year of the snake. Vladimir Putin, born in the year of the dragon, and he became president of Russia in 2000, the year of the dragon. So when
I'm a
people
tiger
go
and
based
none of
off
this
their
applies to
energy,
me.
I mean, you are a 9 life path. 9s are the most adaptive people in the world. I'm sure you have adapted to many things.
There's always an answer, isn't there?
Always.
And that's what I do. I mean, obviously you have a comment for everything too.
When did this happen? When did you start believing?
9/11.
Okay.
Why?
9/11. So when I looked at
9
9/11,
and 11 equals 20.
I'll get there in a second. When I looked at 9/11, I woke up and I'm like, damn, a whole bunch of people died. I went out, smoked one for all the victims' families and stuff like that. And I came inside and I saw a second plane hit, and I'm like, wait a second. The Twin Towers look like an 11. The first plane that hit the World Trade Center is Flight 11. I mean, the police code for emergency is 9/11. Started digging a little bit more. New York City, 11 letters. Afghanistan, 11 letters. Shanksville, 11 letters. The Pentagon, 11 letters. I'm like, oh, what's going on? The
Pentagon is not
the Pentagon, 11 letters. So I started looking at all this. I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here? This is too much to be a coincidence. And then I looked at Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda was founded on the 11th. The first, they had 3 major terrorist attacks that Al Qaeda's known for.
Because there's only 30.
Hold on, let me
31
finish.
days.
They were founded on the 11th. They hit Madrid, Spain on March 11th. They hit Mumbai, India on July 11th. And they hit America on 9/11. The chances of all those attacks happening on the 11th and Al Qaeda being founded on the 11th, we're talking about in the
No, it's not. 'Cause
millions.
They would just be like, we're going to do it on the 11th because we like the number.
No, they actually know something about numerology, and that's why they did it on certain
I mean,
things.
for sure.
But you said the Muslims. You said they don't believe in the number system. The Muslims.
Well, the poor ones don't.
Okay. According to the Quran, though, they don't.
Well, I mean, listen, they say divination is bad. They say the same thing in the Bible. Divination is bad, right? Well, if divination's so bad, stop paying attention to the Weather Channel. Okay, seriously, stop paying attention to the Weather Channel if divination is bad. Here's the point. I'm not God. I'm nothing compared to God, including everyone in this room. Agreed?
Yes.
None of us are gods in here.
Correct.
So God knows everything when it comes down to what's going to happen when you're born, you're going to die. We'll never get to that level. But we can use the numerology and astrology to help guide us on the right path.
What does that have to do with the weather? Like, we could predict the weather based on patterns of what we see in the sky. We could
That's
predict the new
divination.
days
Okay,
That's
out.
divination.
How does astrology work? Like, you've done a lot of numerology, but what's the astrology?
Okay, well, there's basically 12 signs. The first one is rat, and it's enemy with the horse.
You mean Chinese zodiac?
Chinese, that's what I focus on, that one, because
but
that's the
that's-
most accurate to me. I don't do the
He
woman
thinks
stuff.
astrology is gay.
That's not astrology.
That's Chinese zodiac.
Chinese zodiac.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So I don't do the Libra, Capricorn. I think it has some relative value, but I leave that for the women. When it comes down to the Chinese astrology, it's extremely accurate. I'll give you an example. Rat, the year of the rat and the year of the horse are enemies. Shaq was a rat. Kobe was a horse. They hated each other. Little things like that go a long way in making people understand how this works. Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers was founded in the horse year, collapsed in 2008, the year of the rat. Again, enemy signs at work. Next one, enemy sign, the goat and the ox. So Hitler is the best example I can give people. Hitler was born 1889, the year of the ox. And when did he start losing World War II? 1943. He lost Stalingrad. He lost Kursk. War was over. And guess what? That was his enemy year. Now let's go to Saddam Hussein, another guy who's born in the year of the ox. He's born in 1937. The year of the goat is his enemy. What happened? First Gulf War in 1991. Second Gulf War 2003. We took him out. Again, both those were goat years. So if you start looking at this stuff from a pattern recognition standpoint, you'll see certain consistencies there.
I think if you look for certain trends, that you can find the ones that you want to find with the examples that you want to find, given the rich history that we have on this planet.
Well, the thing about it is when you look at history, it will tell you if it's. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just looking at pattern recognition.
I think if people want to find a pattern, they'll find a pattern.
Well,
if you're motivated to find a pattern, we're humans, and you're going to find that pattern.
Well,
if you start with a conclusion, then you'll find your way to that conclusion.
Well, that's what you believe, and I would say that you probably haven't looked into numerology and astrology long enough. And if you're around me for about 24 hours, you'll start seeing it yourself.
All right, so
I will point it out.
You named like Tom Cruise, Xi Jinping, people who were born in the year and then rose to power in those years.
Correct.
Here's Lady Gaga, Drake, Megan Fox, Usain Bolt, Lindsay Lohan are tigers, but they were all came to prominence in non-tiger years. Lady Gaga in a dragon rat year, Drake in an ox and tiger year, Usain Bolt in a rat and ox year. There's no match. Then you have dragons: Rihanna, Adele, Emma Stone, Rupert Grint. Rihanna and Adele exploded into pig, ox, tiger. Dragon year was too early for a dragon year, and in 2012 they were already famous. Of the monkeys, you've got Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, and Cardi B. All became famous in pig and rooster years. And then among rat years, you have Scarlett Johansson, Katy Perry, Mark Zuckerberg, LeBron James, and their breakthroughs were in sheep to tiger years.
When was Facebook founded?
2005.
No.
When
was Facebook founded? Go ahead, look up. I want to make sure I'm right.
Can you respond?
Yeah, I can. Facebook was founded in 2004.
What does that have
the
to
year
do
of the
with
monkey.
what I just pointed out?
When did its stock have a major crash?
When?
2022.
And
that was its enemy year. You'll see
so,
this. So let's go through the list this year.
Most
okay?
stocks crashed in
hold on.
2022.
I just listed a bunch of celebrities
okay.
who didn't rise to prominence in the same year as they were born, and you ignored the question. You ignored.
No, I didn't ignore anything. If you want me to go into single detail about everyone's life, pick one. Let's go through the details.
Lady Gaga.
Okay, she's born March 28th, I believe.
I don't know. She was born in 1986.
What? 1986, year of the tiger.
Year of the tiger.
Okay.
And she became famous in the dragon year.
Okay, so again, the numerology does supersede the astrology, but the astrology does work.
She was born.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of how this works.
86, March 28th, 86.
Okay, I'll give you an example of how this works. America is a monkey nation. America's founded 1776, the year of the monkey. People who are tigers, they usually have a lot of issues with getting banned or, being one of those guys who are on government watch list and things like that. So let's go through 4 of the most banned people in the internet, and you tell me if you agree. Alex Jones, Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes,
Give or take.
Sneeko. I would say well, he's the smallest name there, but those all are tigers, and they all got banned in the monkey nation. What I'm basically trying to tell you is this stuff works if you look
Laura
into
Loomer
it.
is extremely banned. I don't know. Was she born in the year of the?
She is born 1993, the year of the rooster, and she doesn't play well with others, so it is what it is.
I kind of subscribe to the magnetic universe theory. A lot of scientists talk about Thunderbolts project, and that we are connected through some sort of force, weather planets, and the position of the planet when the radiation is passing through it that causes a refraction through our planet and our bodies as our babies are coming out of the womb, no longer protected by the radiation protection of the mother's stomach, and they're exposed to this radiation for the first time, that it might have something to do with the numbers that we've derived from the position of things.
No, I get it. Listen, I like to talk about people who are up here so people can see this stuff with their own eyes. Who basically started the podcast game?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan?
Adam Curry. But then
Joe Rogan is born.
Or John Green?
No,
Tom
Tom Green. You said
Tom Green? Is it
yeah, Tom Green did.
Could we say that Alex Jones had a big part of it?
No.
It's fair to say Rogan. We'll say Rogan.
No,
Rogan's
Tom
not-
Green.
No, Tom Green really started
Tom
it.
Green inspired Rogan.
Joe
Okay.
Rogan didn't get on Apple Podcasts until Apple Podcasts was already made. Tom Green started doing it was Joe Rogan on Tom Green, right? That was the big story. And before him, it was Adam, what's his face?
Adam Curry, yeah.
Who coined the term podcast.
Yeah, well, it was an Apple thing because it was the iPod.
Right. And it was instead of having a song, you'd have an MP3 of a conversation on your iPod. And then
So-
people could listen to shows by downloading it to their
Alex Jones, born on the 11th. Very charismatic guy. Joe
radio
Rogan,
show.
born on the 11th. Again, very charismatic guy. Hulk Hogan, born
But
on
we
the 11th.
live on the planet with millions and
Hold on, let
millions
me
of
finish. Let me
people.
finish. What you have to understand is people born on certain dates are going to have certain abilities. And people who are born on the 11th have a hell of a lot of charisma. And that's why Joe Rogan's #1, because he's born on the 11th. Candace Owens, I know you don't like her, but she's born on the 29th. 29 is 11. That's where she gets that mouthpiece from. It is what it is. I'm telling you what it is. So people with certain numbers are going to see that. Aiden Ross, I don't think much of him, but he's born on the 11th. And a lot of people give him a lot of credit for
9
doing the
equals
streaming.
11.
Are you pagan?
No.
Okay, this
I
feels
believe,
pagan.
I believe in the crime creator.
What?
A prime creator.
I'm creative,
What you
but
would
this
call
feels
God.
very supernatural and pagan.
I mean, listen, again, I explained, I believe this is basically a virtual reality. And in this virtual reality, numerology and astrology is cheat codes. I'll give you one more example, and you guys can tear me apart if you want to, but let's go
You
to...
never answered to the celebrities I listed who weren't born in those years.
I just said numerology supersedes astrology. So if the
What does that
if the answer isn't within astrology, you have to start looking at their numerology.
It sounds like what you're saying is if it doesn't fit your explanation, you'll.
I'm sure that's what it sounds like. But when you actually look into the information, you'll see that it's actually relevant. I'll give you one more. Apple. Apple was founded by Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was born 2/24/1955. 2/24/1955 adds up to 28. He started Apple on 4/1/1976. 4/1/1976 adds up to 28. He incorporated Apple on January 3rd, 1977. 1/3/1977 adds up to 28. So what we have there is someone who is one of the top guys who was ever in tech field, was using numerology because he went to India, he learned it, and then he incorporated Apple, and it became the richest cash-rich company in the world. And by the way, Steve Cook's another 28, and he took over his job. So what I'm basically trying to tell you is this might sound like nonsense to you, just like the Bible and the Quran sounds like nonsense to me and a lot of people, but you have to understand, I am looking at this from a logical standpoint. When you see something that keeps coming up over and over and over, at some point it has to stop being a coincidence.
Right. But if I make like a prediction, are you able to look at that prediction and then say, oh, that's false because of this, and then come up with another way to like change that specific thing? You have to be able to falsify someone using the system incorrectly, correct?
Well, here's
Not
the
just
thing.
say you're not using the right system or not using it the right way.
I'll tell you how I grew up.
that's
Let me just finish this. In 2002, after 9/11, I started looking at all the numerology books. I'm like, this is crap. None of this stuff works. And then I started talking to all the top numerologists in the field. And I realized one thing about them. They were all broke. And I'm thinking, if these guys were so good at what they did,
peddling
why they
numerology.
broke? Well, here's the thing. I'm a multimillionaire many times over. And at the end of the day, people who are in a Saudi royal family, they come to me when they want to have a wedding. They want to have the right day. I talk to the very, very top of the food chain, and that's why if you actually need security and you're willing to go down to Miami, I promise you, you'll be taken care of.
Nah, not Miami.
You said it, when we met, Gary, about an hour and 2 hours ago, you were like right on about what my life has been like in a lot of ways.
but
And I wondered if you were just looking in my eyes and you could tell things about my feelings by looking at me.
Yeah, it's called cold reading.
Is that part of numerology?
No, but there are mentalists who can do it. There are mentalists who can
You
do
wear
it.
your personality on your face too, Ian. You look like an Ian.
Life change. I mean, a lot of people, there's this thing called the Saturnal return. Saturn returns every 27, when someone
28 and a half years.
28 and a half is
Yes.
like the most profound year of your life for a lot of people. Those 3 years define what the rest of your life is going to be like. I've heard many times.
There is a lot of truth to that.
Shane, you sound awfully quiet over there. As our resident outside of the box thinker, what do you think of numerology?
I
And,
think
what we've
be
heard?
sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in your faith, knowing that the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world.
Wow.
Shane,
You went to
1
church
Peter
yesterday, didn't
5:8-9.
you?
Shane has wrapped himself in the armor of the Lord tonight.
That sounded nice.
That's legit.
Armor of
That's
the
actually.
Lord.
I don't know the which phrase or which passage it is, but is it?
I mean, we have a whole bunch of people questioning numerology, but they're willing to believe the Bible and Quran with no evidence. So it is
I
what it
think
is.
half of the people here wouldn't even consider themselves Christian. Like I don't think that's true.
When
for
I
many
was
of the people
28,
here.
I was working at Fusion, and that did not define my life. That was like a wasted 2 years.
What about Oh, not really. That was like the springboard to the next.
No, it wasn't.
ABC. That was ABC.
Yeah, where I did nothing for 2 years. There was no springboard, dude.
It's gonna tell you
Oh,
how it
I mean,
is.
you were sort of making shitloads of money in those years.
No, I already made money.
You said you doubled, 2.5 times your salary in that age.
I think going from like 100 and something to like 250 was a standard promotion, but it didn't define my life. It didn't set me on a path.
Yeah, I don't think it.
It actually, for 2 years, I did little. And the only real argument was that I worked a job where I saved money. This is it's.
Well, I think
come
the
on.
human brain gets developed at age 25, so I think that's why a lot of people have profound transitions.
My life doesn't fit any of these numbers.
Well, I'll tell you what. Anyone who thinks I'm a fraud, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of them, I can put up $100,000. We can go up to random people. I'll be blindfolded, and I'll do exactly what I did to you. Read them like a book. I only have to look at their face. And if I'm wrong, I'll pay you guys. If I'm right, pay me. We can. I make
Wait, so what is your
Wait,
contention? that you
hold
could
on,
predict-
wrong about what?
I mean, let's bring 100 random people, 50, whatever you want.
Right, what
I'll
do you
be
wanna ask?
blindfolded, and I'll just give them a reading based off their birthday. They say I'm
What
right,
does
I'm
that
right.
mean, a reading? Like, what do you ask them?
I'm not going to ask them anything except their birthday, and then they're going to go into their life, and they'll tell me if I'm right or wrong. Like I gave him.
What's your birthday?
Do I
your
tell you
birthday?
first, or you tell me?
No, I don't. I'm not psychic, bro.
Okay, so September 22nd. You sound like it. September 22nd, 93.
September 22nd, 93. You're at 8 life path, which means your money is either here or here. It's never in the middle. You're never going to be middle class. Either you're going to go up or you're going to go down. So what you have to understand is 8 has 2 circles around it. The middle represents middle class. That's why it's very thin. So you're either going to be poor or rich, never in the middle. You're also very karmic. You do bad things, they come right back to you very, very quickly. You have an aggressive personality. 2023, you probably had some setbacks in life. You should have had a good year this year. But one of your main things in life is you're good at building up other people. That is one of your main gifts.
I
You're
think
born
you've
on the
just been
22nd.
describing the person you've seen in front of you during.
Well,
the show.
you could think that, but you could put a blindfold in front of me, and I'd say the same goddamn thing without seeing you, without ever talking to you.
You do, Bill. You do
Elad.
say how young I look a lot.
Elad. I hear a voice. There's someone talking to me. They care deeply about you.
I didn't do that.
They're telling me, tell Elad not to worry about the money. Does that mean anything to you, Elad? Are you worried about money?
I am worried about money.
Actually,
Wow.
That sounds right.
But I wasn't doing that.
I actually thought
You
that.
were.
No, I
I
wasn't.
thought the voice was telling you to go to Super Chats.
I love I love reading horoscopes because it's like they describe everyone all the time. They're so vague.
Like 12 different aspects.
I'm just glad it
You had
wasn't
a
like
setback
you're
in
fired.
2023,
That's
bro.
why
I had
you're
a setback
poor.
literally every single year, always.
The numbers.
Some more than others, brother.
I think the
Every
thing is,
single
it's-
year there's a setback.
It's like premature to say it's fake because there's no. What you're doing could very well be cracking the code of like cymatic reality.
Cymatic.
It doesn't
Like there's
feel
a frequency
based
that
on
can be
anything.
measured with numbers that are producing shape of reality.